Welcome to EPG Pathshala. I am Dr. Neeru Tandon from Department of English, VSST College, Kanpur. We are discussing paper on linguistics, and this module number 35 titled Language Change has been written by Dr. Charul Jain of MS University, Vadodara. In this module, we are going to talk about the changes that has been taken place in language or are taking place in language. What are the reasons of this language change? What are the effects of this language change? How this change takes place in the language that we use. Here in this module particularly, we are talking about English as a language. Language change, you can see that there are 4 parameters. How do language changes spread? Studying language change, then reasons behind language changes, and what are the variations and change that takes place. It is said the only thing that is constant is change. It means we cannot stop the change. Change is something that is permanent, that takes place always. So let us just to start this change, let us just have certain questions. You can call them teasers also. Just think and answer to yourself. Do you use the same language as your grandparents? Or do you feel that there are certain changes, the way they used to speak and the way you speak? Number 2, what is the meaning of the mouse? Just for an example, ask your grandparent, they know what the mouse is. But to you and to maybe for your child, if the word mouse you say, it will be related with the computer and not an animal. Which variety of language is considered fit to be taught and why not other varieties? Suppose if I start speaking in Bhojpuri or Awadhi or other variants of Hindi, then what will happen? It won't be considered as the language of the educated class. Why? Why this change has taken place? Then how many languages do you speak? Most of us are bilingual or multilingual. Do you face any problem in using languages other than your first languages? If yes, then what are those languages? So we always use certain words in our Hindi also while speaking Hindi that we don't even realize that we are using English words. We don't use pure Hindi. Or for that matter, in English also we have certain Hindi words that are now part of the Oxford Dictionary as well. So certain words like loan borrowing and from other techniques, they have been taken and assimilated into another language. That is the beauty of the using various languages. Like human beings, languages too change and grow. Any language that is being used by its speakers will continue to transform, make adjustments with the changing times. For example, as I told you, mouse is a living being for some, while for some it is an input device. The meaning has expanded, the meaning has changed. The languages which stop growing fear extinction and some become dead. Language change occurs on 5 levels. 1, that is the sound, pronunciation changes. Then lexics, vocabulary changes. Then syntax, the grammar changes. Semantics, meaning of that particular word, like mouse, the spelling is same, the word is same, but the meaning has changed. Orthography, the script also changes. Now, synchronous language variations, if you think over time, the first word that comes in our mind is synchronous. Synchronous means at the same time. The differences that exist in a language simultaneously at one time, or dichronous, changes that occur in language over a period of time. Languages do change over time, like an example oft quoted, that is nice, which previously used to mean the spelling is same, the word is same. Previously it used to mean foolish, now it used to mean nice, good. So that is the negative word has become the positive word. Now various synchronous changes like dialects. Languages have different varieties that differ from one place to another, one society to another, one class to another. Hindi spoken in western UP, Lucknow, Kanpur is changed from the Hindi spoken in Bundelkhandi area like Jhansi, Orchha and other places. The language spoken in the urban rural region is different. When you go to the Kanpur Dehat, you will find a different language, different Hindi, different variant of Hindi, and when you are in the city, the accent, the words used will be different. You will find different words. Tamil spoken by upper class is different, by vegetable vendors is different, and rickshaw driver is altogether different. They also use some English words because they are dealing with people who are not Tamil. So because of that, they are forced to use certain other words from certain other languages, and their language is shaped accordingly. Registers. The differences that occur with reference to the subject matter of the profession is called registers. Like language used by a journalist is different of a story on the same subject, and language used by some other person is different on the same topic. When we talk about diachronous changes, we just mentioned Sir William Jones, who identified similarities between three great ancient languages like Greek, Latin and Sanskrit. All emerged from the same language, that is proto-similarity in the three languages. Where family tree of language is something very common. Languages related to each other like brothers and sister, parents and children language, they are there. One language is being originated from other. So given next is the family tree of the Indo-European languages. English and several Indian languages are there coming together as a tree, as a separate branches of one tree. Now you can see in this particular chart that these are the Indo-European family. Some are Germanic root, some are Roman, some are Celtic, some are American and Greek and Indo-Iranian. So how many languages come out of this particular branch? They are just like Germanic, we have English, we have Dutch, we have German, we have Swedish, we have Norwegian, we have Danish. So all these come out of that. Now this is another tree of Indian languages. You can see on one branch it is Hindi, another is Bengali, another is Odia and Sanskrit. From Sanskrit some other languages are being originated. So there are Gujarati is there, Marathi is there, Urdu is there, Rajasthani is there. So many varieties are there, and they are just associated and connected with each other in one way or the other. Diachronous changes in English, you can I will like to refer a case study where it was told that, can you guess how old is the English language? A relatively new language it is, traditionally divided into three broad periods. Period first, Old English before 1100 AD, Middle English from 1100 AD to 1500 AD, and the modern English starts after 1500 AD. In this particular matter, I will like to just quote something from literature. You must have heard the name of Francis Bacon. Francis Bacon was a great writer, and he used to write his essays into other languages and not in English, because in his times it was considered that English is not a good language and it is not going to survive for long. So whatever important he thought about his writings, he wrote them in other languages and not in English. Some of the essays he wrote in English also that are available, and some are translated, one are also there in English. But at his time, because English was considered not the language of the educated class, and French and German were considered the good languages, language of the educated class, so he preferred other languages and not English. In the same way, this language change takes place, and language, it moves on and takes the shape and just occupies maximum position. Now so many countries, so many people, they are just speaking English, and English has occupied a very important role. Old English, it emerged from Germanic languages spoken by tribes of Europe settled in Britain. Their Anglo-Saxon language called Angelic or English and the land as England. Several basic words used in everyday life in English from this period: angel, boat, father, wife, child, etc. Many words were incorporated from Latin, the language of the rulers. Language heavily inflected with words endings showing the form and meaning of the word. Middle English, the language continued to change. Borrowed words from the languages of the invaders, rulers, the French were included. Three terms referring to the same meaning now, like one English, another Latin, and third French. For example, luck, fortune, chance, and meed, that is the archaic word now, reward, compensate, etc. were used. Simplified the vocabulary and orthography in the Middle English. A remarkable change in the pronunciation, the great vowel shift has taken place in the Middle English, and it became less inflected, and there was loss of gender marker in Middle English. In modern English, further changes and modifications took place. Adventures into new lands and languages, scientific and technological advancements, and also industrial revolution took place. Due to colonization and travel, many words borrowed from various languages into English, like kangaroo, boomerang, Bangalore, pandit, juggernaut, banana, igloo, canoe, recon, squash, bluff, etc. Efforts to standardize the spelling and grammar of English was done by Dr. Samuel Johnson in 18th century when he wrote the dictionary to do that. The language, however, has continued to evolve to become what it is today, and we see signs of its change every day. You can see in this particular diagram how this development has taken place. You must have heard Pidgin and Creoles. What are these Pidgins? Sometimes business is transacted in the language of the foreigners. The local native people gain a smattering of that language, use its basic vocabulary and simple sentence constructions. Over time, it becomes an established contact language and is called Pidgin. If you have ever traveled to cities like Agra and Jaipur, there you will find all the vendors, the common vendors, of using those words of English, because most of the foreigners, they come to these cities, and it becomes imperative for them, if they want to do their business, they must understand and they must communicate in the words being used of that particular language. So that is the Pidgin. Several English Pidgins in the words like the Butler English of India, Crew Pidgin, Nigerian Pidgin, etc. are in vogue. Pidgins are not native language of any community, used as second language for a limited purpose of occupation. They know only those words which are associated with their particular occupation. An example from Butler English, I quote from Wikipedia: "One master call for come England, I say not coming, that master very liking me, I not come, that is like for India, that hot and cold, that England for very cold." Now what is that? The construction of the sentence is quite different from the accepted English, but it is conveying the meaning, it is conveying the sense. Suppose even today, if you go to Thailand, what will happen? The way they use English is have not, cannot. They won't say I cannot do it. They will say, if you say please do this, they will say cannot. That is the pronunciation and that is the word they use. Have not, cannot, and just words to communicate what they wanted to communicate. Creole. When a Pidgin is spoken for a longer stretch of time, it develops and standardizes its sounds and grammar system. Used for almost all communicative purposes than merely occupational, and it is learnt by the second generation of the speakers as well. Then it is called a Creole. So what happens? The Pidgin takes form of the Creole. Talk Pidgin, originally a Pidgin, is now a Creole. Let us differentiate between Pidgin and Creole. In Pidgin, there is no native speaker. Creole has a native speaker because of the second generation. Pidgin is no language. Creole becomes the first language. Pidgin is the simple structure. Creole has complex structure of a particular language. Then in Pidgin, there is no identification, while Creole have identification. Pidgin is unstable and Creole is stable. Though Creole comes out of the Pidgin is still Pidgin and Creole, they are on different levels. Now when we talk about language and regional variations, we know that Census of India 2001 declared that 122 major languages and 1599 other languages. The English language was one of them, and the 8th schedule of the Constitution of India in 2007 declared 22 official languages of India. A language spoken in a region changes as one moves away from the region. The distinctions in pronunciation, lexics and even grammar become noticeable. And after some distance, language becomes unintelligible. No longer a dialect but a different language takes place. In India, there is a famous maxim, popular saying, and it is said, "Kos kos par badle pani, char kos par vani." What it means, that somewhere we have Ganga, then Jamuna, then different rivers. So kos par badle pani, char kos par vani. There are so much differentiation in language also. If you move ahead, then the language of the native people changes very soon. Dialects, they are the variety of language spoken in a particular region, understandable to speakers of that language and mutually unintelligible. And differences in pronunciation, differences in vocabulary, differences in speech, even grammar is there in different dialects. It is considered non-standard varieties of a language, and such regional varieties of the same language are there in a particular dialect. Like Hindi is a language, but it has got several dialects. Like in Delhi, we have Khadi Boli. Then if you go to Bhopal, Hyderabad, Lucknow, you will have different language altogether. In Lucknow, Hindi has the impact of Urdu language. In Hyderabad, you will have impact of some other languages. So Kathiawadi, Surti, Kochi, these are the dialects of Gujarati. You can see from this particular thing, as far as English is concerned, we have American English, we have British English, we have Canadian English, we have Indian English, New Zealand, Singapore, everywhere some differences are there in English language, and this is known as language change that takes place at the same time. Now what is the standard language then? Amidst several varieties of the same language that exist, one variety is considered as the ideal. Considered chaste, accent-free, sophisticated variety with neutral accent, usually the variety used by administrative, commercial and social centers, are considered the standard language. The language in the printed form and in the media is the example of the standard language, and this variety is taught in schools, used in textbooks, cultivated in spoken form, informal communication. Think about your own regional language and try to identify which is the standard language. Let us talk also about accent. Accent is a characteristic way of pronunciation, unique to the speakers of a particular variety of a language. All speakers have some or the other accent. Whichever language is spoken, the speaker can be easily identified with one of its varieties. It is a myth that some speakers do not have an accent. A fluent speaker of English in India can be easily identified as a native Bengali or Malayali or a Punjabi speaker or a Bihari speaker. What will happen? A person who comes from the Bihar, he speaks English in its Bihari accent only. In the same way, Punjabi person has got his own way of speaking English. The accent and the impact of the Punjabi language is there. Bilingualism and multilingualism, they are also part of it. When a person knows only one language, he is known as monolingual. When two languages are known, he is known as bilingual, and more than two is multilingual. It is estimated that half the entire world's population, including the Indians, are at least bilinguals. Users are comfortable predominantly with one language, and they mix and match languages while using. That is the language change. There are various advantages of being a bilingual or multilingual. Facility of using two or more languages, then interacting with the speakers of two or more languages, better adapt to resolve conflicts and handle situations, and easier for them to travel to different destinations. Language and social variants are there. So these variations are also under scanning. Language, which is a tool of interaction among the members of a society or a speech community, commonly share the codes and constructs of a language. Inevitable that language is determined by the society, and vice versa, language determines society. Language vary from culture to culture. We have studied in previous modules Sapir-Whorf hypothesis, which says that the theory of linguistic determinism and linguistic relativity is always there, and the structure of a language affects the speaker's word view and cognition. For example, in Eskimo culture, 22 distinct words for snow, whereas English has only 2. We also talk about sociolect or social dialects. Lect, we know, from lect the word sociolect or social dialect has come into fashion. Every society has different classes and sections. Each has some peculiarity of language use. Language is spoken by upper classes usually different from the variety spoken by the lower classes. The variety spoken by different religious groups, ethnic groups, occupational classes differ from one another. Suppose there is a religious person, a pujari from a temple. We cannot accept and we don't expect that he will use abusive language like a rickshawala does in his daily day-to-day talks. We expect that a rickshawala, because he is uneducated, he may use abusive language, he may use colloquial language, we don't mind that. But when an educated person comes and does the same, that is not acceptable by anyone in the society. So there are different expectations from different people. George Bernard Shaw in Pygmalion captured this distinction in his speech between upper class and the flower girl and her associates. The upper class of Tamil society has 3 words for water, whereas the lower class has only 1, tanni. A special stylized way of using language is known as registers. It is peculiar to a specific context. Different kind of language used by doctors, lawyers, journalists and priests. For example, the sample did not exhibit any incidence of abnormality in the tissue. That is, we know without saying that this must be the language used by a doctor. The plaintiff continued to argue the infractious matter in the appellate court. I know this language must be the language of a lawyer. The government has approved the proposal to set up a new center in the city. Confirm the spokesperson of the government must be spoken by a journalist. We also have jargons. The specialized vocabulary which makes registers identifiable are known as jargons. The special technical vocabulary used in a specific field of work is known as jargon, and like there are medical jargon, legal jargon or biblical jargons. We also have slang and colloquialisms. The term and phrases which do not belong to the standard variety of language are called slang. They are acceptable and frequently used in some communities or group of people. Like in these days, we have a new language called SMS language that is being used in WhatsApp and SMS through mobile, and more or less we have accepted that language. It will come LOL. We understand what the LOL is. MU, we know it means missing you, but that has taken part of a particular different language. Or as I told you, yeah, this yeah is the yes. So yeah is a jargon, and this should not be used with your elders. But these days kids and students, they are so used to using the slang that they don't even know that it is not proper to use it with your elders. Often slangs are fads, and as fashion changes, slangs too pass out of use. These words often are not even listed in dictionary. They are not listed in dictionaries. For example, khokha, peti, bucks, etc. Youth and youngsters have their own informal codes and phrases, slangs. Our language shapes our identity. One living in Andhra Pradesh speaks Assamese or Uriya, his or her identity would be related to one's first language. There was a case study where a Punjabi engineer working in a multinational company in Bangalore, when in office, he interacts with her Bengali boss in English, with co-workers in Hindi, as they are from various places from all over India. When he meets a Punjabi in the office, immediately starts using Punjabi with a great vigor, and in the market talks to the shopkeeper in Kannada because that shopkeeper cannot understand English as per his knowledge. So the same person is speaking 4-5 different varieties of language in one place. That is the construction of the identity. That is a common sight, isn't it? It is the construction of identity and belongingness that demands switches in language, that is known as code switching. English is a language of power and prestige in our country. When you want to be assertive, you change to English. And when you want a favor from someone, you use a common language to show solidarity and common identity. Some languages considered prestigious, like language of the ruler, language of the economically powerful people, and the standard language. Because English being in India the language of the ruler, language of the economically powerful people, and standard language, it gains that respect automatically. We also get affected, and our language gets affected by TV also. Another expression of power and prestige. The TV distinction pronoun markers for addressing individuals. Addresses as hey bro. The use of to. You close solidarity, closeness is being indicated. Addresses as excuse me sir, excuse me ma'am, woo, that is respectful. Formal. In a woo relationship, the superior may address the subordinate by to address but not vice versa. So example in Hindi, aap is a marker of respect, address marker, and tum ya tu is a to marker. Code mixing and code switching is very normal, as I discussed earlier. A speaker might shift frequently from one language to another by using words of another language in the lexicon of one prominent language, that is code mixing, or switching from sentence of one language into a sentence or two of other language interspread in the discourse, that is code switching. For example, you know there are must reviews about this new movie, यही दंगल, अरे आमिर खान की नई movie, I am going to watch it, कल ही with my friends. This is known as code mixing, used two languages. There is a lot of political uncertainty going on in Tamil Nadu. कल ओ पनीर सेल्वम ने रिज़ाइन कर दिया और अब शशिकला चीफ मिनिस्टर बनेगी. I don't know what is going to happen next. This is code switching. Now there is linguistic relativity also. Languages across the world differ. One language values something, ascribes several words to it, another language might have only one word for the same. In your language, how many words are there for lotus? In Hindi, words for lotus, Kamal, Padm, Pankaj, etc. So many words are there. Can you guess why there is this differentiation? Is it related to culture and the construction of the society? Sapir-Whorf hypothesis says our language shapes the way we view the world. Language's relative construction view the world as it is influenced or determined by the language. We perceive external reality through the predetermined categories laid down by our language. For example, for marriage, two terms in India, arranged marriage or love marriage, no word for dating, because that is not acceptable. There is a relationship between language and culture. That on your screen you can see this diagram where the relationship of language and culture is expressed. There are certain factors responsible for language change. What are these? Can you list at least 5 such factors? The need for simplification. Many complex grammatical rules simplified due to analogy. Similarity to some other rules and languages are there. Earlier, the languages in the oral form now change easy the written form, more standardized and controlled. Then The application of words in related context, that is the figurative meaning is there, expansion, narrowing, complete change in the meaning of the word takes place. Different languages come in contact, words for cultural and contextual peculiarity are borrowed. Expansion of vocabulary and semantic changes take place. Different professions developed, stylized in specific vocabulary and structures unique to their field are included. Trade and commerce between countries, exchange in languages, and that is the reason why language changes. Construction of society and culture with notion of power, prestige, identity and solidarity also affects. Gender, age, class, caste, race and religion, they also affect the language very much. Main influences on language change are just described in this diagram on your screen. Language change in ways that make old sounds into new sounds and words into grammar, and they shift in different directions so that eventually there are languages as different as German and Japanese. At all times, any language is gradually on its way to changing into a new one. The language that is not gradually turning upside down is one on the verge of extinction. This kind of change is so relentless that it even creates languages within languages. In separate populations who speak the same language, changes differ. The result is variations upon the language, that is dialects. Often one dialect is chosen as the standard one, and when it is used in writing, it changes more slowly than the ones that are mostly just spoken, because the permanency of writing has an official look that makes change seem suspicious. But the dialects that are mostly just spoken keep on changing at a normal pace, then the language of the word tend to mix together on various levels. All languages borrow words from one another. There is no pure vocabulary. But some borrow so much vocabulary that there is little original material left, such as in English. English is a horrible mix of dialects and languages. And meanwhile, languages spoken alongside one another also trade grammar, coming to look like the way married couples sometimes do. Some languages are even direct crosses between one language and another, and two languages having reproduced along the line of meiosis. Some of the factors are the changing times, new requirements, societal construction, and negotiations of identity, power, prestige, gender, age, occupation, and the like. Again, this chart will show you certain factors that are influencing the language change. History, war, industry, economic activity, geographical location, accent, dialect, leveling, social factors, cultural transmission, science, technology, discoveries. So everything in a way you can say that is being covered by language, or language is affecting them and in return being affected by them. So to summarize, we can say that language change is a constant process. We cannot stop this, and by we just keep on changing the language, and it is being used by so many, but if it is not in use, it gets extinct as well. English as a language is a mix of various dialects and language, and it borrows words from so many Latin, German, French, and that's why we as a speaker of English language come across many other languages as well. Okay, this is from Latin, its pronunciation should be like that. Hindi words, pujari is there, jalebi is there, so many words are there. So as English speaker, we are supposed to learn those words. We are supposed to just adapt that language in our own way. That is something very interesting also. So keep on learning, keep on enjoying English as a language. Thank you for visiting EPG Pathshala.